Yo, what's good, family? Shout out to my doggy, Shiny Hatsman, for coming through and boosting up your man the YB coin. So, as you've seen by the title right now, your man's Deontay Wilder is posted up, back in the cut, ready to smoke on some bums pack, 100%. Here's the leak picture. You see one cat here. Is Goober having ass, dude? Who was he ducking? This cat here was ducking someone, but listen. End of the day, Wilder looking in lean. He looking super duper lean with it. In fact, this was the fight from the Fury fight, last Fury fight, where he weighed in a career record like 235 or something like that. Here, he looking back in that 209, 215 kind of shape. You can see his chest there is super duper, what they call it, hypermorphed. Whereas here, you got that whole chicken chest, pigeon chest kind of effect going on right now. Also, his delts, a lot more bulbous. His whole look was a whole lot more bulbous. So, quite rightfully so in my opinion, and I've heard it from close sources, Deontay Wilder has dropped all of the weight pumping, and arguably rightfully so. Really, when you look at it historically speaking, Wilder's never been someone who runs out of gas. And again, we've never seen him pressed like the way that Fury was pressing him. Fury seriously pressed him. Yeah, he pressed him. Fury pressed Deontay Wilder like he was next man's girl. Yeah, 100% pressed. So it's good news. Number one, we've got evidence he's coming back, or he's at least in the gym. Number two, it looks like he's dropped all that new age crap. Yeah, weight pumping crap. Look at AJ. AJ is the best weight pumper. I guarantee you there's no one, who can curl biceps like Mr. Anthony Johnston. I guarantee you no one who can push weights, pump some more weights better than AJ. How it work out for him? No good. Wilder's style requires number one, speed, and number one, listen, you can have all the speed and all the power you want. If you ain't got no gas to back it up, it's no good. You can be the hardest puncher in the world, but if you can only get off one of them punches per round, no good. In my opinion, if I was training Wilder, we would train to just have that right hand just winging. It, like every 10 seconds we're going to wing one out. Because the more you put out, statistically speaking, the more rolls of the dice you're taking. You get what I'm saying? Like gambling. You know, if you roll the dice 50 times, you got a better chance of winning than if you roll it once. And cardio, unfortunately, that night in the third fight, Wilder's cardio was down bad. Facts. His cardio was taking L's, and you best believe it. I'm trying to think. Also, his accuracy and his ability to feint the shot. Wilder's right hand at the best of times is sneaky. Yeah, Wilder's got that sneaky link kind of right hand. That one there where you just don't know. Or my favourite example of the sneaky link right hand was when he fought Old Tease the second time. Old Tease was there like this. Old Tease posted up, squared up, in some round, and he went, woohoo. He made a goofy ass smiling face, and Wilder dropped the sneaky link right hand on him. Next thing you know, Old Tease was flat on his back with his legs in the gynecological position, ready to get his uterus checked by the doctor to make sure there's no growths on it. Yeah, his heels was into his backside and his legs were flopped right open. That's what your man Wilder's sneaky link right hand did to Old Tease. Yeah, point is, Wilder back then was a lot lighter, and cardio not only means you can increase the output, it also means your technique, the higher orders of performances, like dropping in a sneaky link. Listen, when you're gassed all you can do is swing left and right. All the higher order powers, like being sneaky, gone. Do you understand? You can't, your brain, your body can't process that, because you can barely keep all your really body's worried about is getting more oxygen into your lungs. That's why your hands will drop and your shots will become more telegraphed, because you're using much bigger muscle groups rather than just whipping it. We've seen Wilder whip the right hand. When you whip, it uses obviously naturally smaller muscles. You're not just winging in your hips and winging in using all your shoulders. It's almost like a whip, flick of the wrist. Yeah? That takes cardio. You must be calm. Wilder in the Fury 3 fight, there wasn't even a bit of calmness. He was all about brute force. And Wilder's never had the best footwork, but even then, you could tell his legs, his chicken legs, when he would step in and jab, very heavy. Because in my opinion, because all of the up top bulk, you'd see it coming from miles off, even when he was stabbing Fury to the body. Now Wilder at the best of times, yeah, his feet and all that, yes, he's got that basketball player kind of look, but he was much lighter on his feet. You'd see Wilder sometimes kind of step in with it, walk his right hand in. He weren't walking nothing in. He was just lunging and then swinging big shots left and right. No good. Not against Fury. Now obviously he's not likely to be fighting Fury next, but whoever he's fighting next, I mean, I like this look. I ain't gonna lie to you, at one point I thought, well, Wilder needs to bulk up. Listen, scrap that. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I think Wilder's best bet will be volume. Keeping his defense tight and just having that right hand going like a piston to the body and to the head. Just literally working your opponent up and down with that right hand. Imagine, we've never really seen Wilder sting someone with the right hand to the body either. That's a whole nother dynamic potentially can be opened up. People say Wilder's one dimensional, oh, he only got the right hand. Well listen, that right hand can do a lot that we haven't actually seen him try to exploit yet. He's a renowned headhunter. Arguably rightly so. Well, of course he's a headhunter. That's why he knocks everyone out. Well listen, I know you're 50-year-old now, or was getting towards 40-year-old, so I'm not sure we can teach you new dog tricks, but still, if you're in love with your right hand, fine, have it going more consistently. Don't be waiting for the perfect shot. The perfect shot will be found once you've lecked it off. Listen, if you're lecking off that right hand more times per round, you'll find that one. Wilder became too reliant on his timing. And yeah, you can time these guys like old T's who square up in the centre of the ring and start smiling. When you're fighting the best of Fury and whoever else, they ain't going to give you that opportunity. They ain't going to give you that sitting duck opportunity. So how you can make your own timing by just adding the volume in. Do you understand? All that stuff about timing beats speed, all that crap here. Listen, timing don't do nothing when you're getting mollywopped. For example, look at De La Hoya versus Floyd. Floyd before that fight would have told you timing beats speed, timing beats work rate. Guess what? Floyd had all the timing and De La Hoya was on his ass. Yeah, all that timing, all that tricky stuff ain't do nothing because he was getting worked. Imagine Wilder going in there, super duper tight defense and just licking. You know what I'm saying? Like a metronome, just mollywopping his opponent with his right hand all over. That's what I envision for Wilder. Coming in lean like this, yeah, super lean, and just having that right hand just going like a piston. Anyway, yeah, almost like a jab. Wilder turned the right hand into a jab, just touching dudes with it. Do you understand? Anyway, listen, man, 100%. We got some more evidence here. Apparently, Francis Ngannou pulled up and was looking for squabbles. Yeah, he's looking for some clout right now. He's your man.
Trying to get back in the group. Hey, John. What's up, man? Good night. Blessings. Good to meet you. Yeah, pleasure's mine.
Good to meet you.
Good training.
So you see there, your man's Ngannou pulled up, yeah. I've heard confidentially, this isn't the public, the masses don't know about this, yeah. But from what I've heard, Ngannou was looking for squabbles. He was looking to get some work that day. That's what I've heard. That's why he was at the gym. I've heard. I mean, you can see here Ngannou, you can see his face. He's got the carb face. He's been bulking. Yeah, Dana White has told him to sit down somewhere. He ain't been getting that working. But still, he's knocking around right now. Ngannou looking for some boxing payday. That's what I'm hearing. Ain't it odd? He looks really out of shape, doesn't he? And I don't want to be controversial here, but people have made allegations, yeah, that UFC fighters are juiced out of their bonds. Now, look how soft Ngannou looks it. I'm sorry, but he looks really like, where's all the muscles gone? Now we've all seen big pumped up weightlifters, yeah, who have the carb puff. Best example of someone who's juiced out of their mind, yeah, but's full of carbs, is Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall's got no definition as full of juice and full of carbs. But this guy here, he doesn't have he's got the carb puff, but he doesn't have where's the muscles gone? That's worrying. It looks like he might be off cycle here. Honestly, I'm not someone who's into the whole conspiracy thing, I'm just saying. It looks here. Where's all the muscles gone? It looks here like he's off cycle. He looks like he's got a dad bod. Honestly, innit though? Look at that, dad bod. Dad bod and dad arms. When these guys are going into the ring here, they look superhuman. This guy here don't look superhuman. He looks super carby. That's crazy. That's actually quite worrying, truth be known. I'm sorry, but something's off with this picture for me. It's one thing if Ngannou looked huge and soft. That's another thing, but for him to just look like a dad now, for him to have a whole dad bod, it's like, how do you go? That's not natural. Stopping training is one thing, but stopping training shouldn't be the difference between Superman and not. Do you understand? Superman and not is when you're juiced out of your bonds. Yeah, you're juiced off your barnet. I hate to say it, but this picture, maybe it's a bad angle, but it looks a little bit fishy, I ain't gonna lie to you. A little bit fishy. Maybe it's, look at it, I mean his arms look like normal arms, don't they? There's no, normally he's got a big vein or a whole bunch of veins pumping through them. All of a sudden now, he just looks normal. He looks human again. I'm just putting it out there, see what you might think. Anyway, back to Wilder. So yeah, Ngannou was knocking around, looking for some squabbles. Apparently he wants some of the boxing bag. Imagine that. Ngannou versus Wilder, a true Mandingo special. Yeah, Barry Hearn will be salivating over that. Barry Hearn will be like, what's that? I need to make this one. I need to get these two bulls. Yeah, don't forget I told you the other day, the Hearn family is a long descendant of the Calvin Candyland. Yeah, Calvin Candy is their third great granddad. I've been told you that. Yeah, and the Calvin Candy within Barry and Eddie Hearn, you best believe I've spoke to people close to the situation, and they've told me that Barry and Eddie, you know Barry's retired, yeah, for this particular fight I've heard Barry has come back into the matchroom and he's specifically focused. Listen, Barry ain't trying to make Eubank versus Ben. He ain't interested in that. Barry Hearn's come back specifically to try and make Wilder versus Ngannou. Yeah? And he's going to dedicate it to his third great granddad, Calvin Candy. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, apparently Barry Hearn's obsessed. He needs to do this for his ancestors. Yeah, he needs to dedicate this one to his great granddad, Mr. Calvin Candy. There it is. Is it going to happen? I'd like to say, like I said, this for me is number one. Mandingo ting, 100%. Big bulls. Get the two big bulls in there. That's what they're saying. That's what the people are saying. Imagine a spectacle of it. Some people even say maybe Ngannou versus AJ, but AJ no good. AJ too soft. Yeah, if AJ gets popped in the mouth by Usyk and don't want to know, what's he going to do with Ngannou? Get serious. I would like to see it in boxing gloves too. I mean in UFC gloves. I think I've been saying this for a while, yeah, but boxing needs to introduce the UFC gloves. Imagine Wilder punching in UFC gloves. Equally, it opens up the whole defense side. In boxing, arguably, yeah, it's too easy to defend yourself. You can just put your earmuffs on and you're relatively safe. That's why in boxing it's very easy to spoil a fight. In the UFC, it's not so easy. Show me where you've seen someone in the UFC, yeah, just tucking up and surviving. They don't. Because there's holes. Whereas in boxing, the gloves are so big, you can literally just hide and spoil a fight. That whole dynamic would be changed with UFC gloves. Because you can't just hide. If you clam up, yeah, on the ropes in UFC gloves, your shots will go through and you'll get stopped. So I don't know why boxing isn't trying to innovate. More stoppages, less damage as well. Part of the reason a lot of boxers take so much damage, yeah, is because you can keep being hit repetitively. In the UFC gloves, you're going out, do you understand? Stoppages come a lot quicker, which means a lot less damage. And that's why, look at the UFC, you don't hear much about brain damage, even though the one-off shots are vicious. It's one-offs. It seems to be the brain is better at recovering from single shots than it is repeated bludgeoning. And that's what boxing is. Boxing, for the most part, is repeated bludgeoning. In the UFC, there's a lot more, okay, spinning back fist or spinning elbow and you get chipped, and that's that. Big one-offs seem to be better. The body can deal with single one-offs better than repeated bludgeonings. Anyway, I've gone all over the place here, but it is what it is, man. 100%. Wilder, come back and roll up some packs and smoke on them. That's what you must see now. That's what we need. That's what the game need, 100%.